So audio only this time, because it's simply easier to add images to this than it is to try and make this webcam work and try and add in images as well. It never goes well, and I'm kind of I'm kind of in two minds about this topic. So roll the titles. For those of you who've been following the story, basically, yesterday, which would have been, let me wait this out, the 21st of May, there was a guy sentenced. I technically can't pronounce his name. I think it's like Daron Ravioli something. I'm just going to call him Ravioli because I know the food and it's easier to say. He got sentenced to a 30-day sentence for committing what is called a hate crime. His hate crime were basically, and I'm not going to go into all the details here, but basically he got his hands on some either images or video of a roommate of his having gay sex, and he showed it to other people. And when the news got back to him that people have seen this about you, it wasn't good. In fact, in September 2010, Tyler, who is on the screen at the moment, decided to take his own life from the George Washington Bridge. Actually, I'm still reading this story as it comes along. Like, I'd read it ages ago, but it kind of gone to the back of my mind because this whole prison and sentencing process has taken such a long time to come to this. Like, we're talking over a year here. It obviously got pushed to the back of my mind because there's been so much going on since then. But yeah, he used a webcam to spy him kissing another man, which is obviously disgusting in itself and kind of a little bit perverted, if I'm going to be honest. If someone was going to do that to me, probably one of the first thoughts that would be in my mind is going, well, why would you want to watch me getting off with another guy? There's kind of something with Ravioli that's up here, really, isn't it? So he's been sentenced to this 30-day sentence, which is good in a way that he's been sentenced, but it is kind of laughable. The fact that it led to someone taking his own life, that was like kind of the final hurdle. And the reason that I say it's the final one is because the more you look into his case, you'll find that Tyler, a couple of weeks before he committed suicide, had come out to his parents, and he hadn't really had the best reception. Apparently, and I actually don't know his Twitter to look at this myself, but he tweeted that basically his mother had rejected him from the family. So you've kind of got to think, is it kind of like all pushed into one and it's just been too much for him to handle and it's led to him taking his own life? Or was it just this incident where the webcam was involved, I don't know how you would judge that up. I mean, for me, it would probably be everything in one, and it's gotten too much. Probably no one there to talk to, life is messed up, and he's thought, this is my only way out. And it's only through experiences like this that when people go through experiences like this, and there is tons of videos on YouTube, so please by all means be my guest, go and have a look at some of these videos. But you get gay men that have, they've come out and they've had a really bad response from like the friends, the family, and some of them have been like really, really beaten, and it's disgusting the way that some of them have been treated, but the message is still there, and this is why people make the videos, still to this day make the videos of it gets better, because the truth is it does. Now, for whatever reason, this Tyler, he's decided to take his own life, and if that's the way he felt was his only way to get out, that's sad in itself. But obviously, it's sad in him doing that in the first place. Whether he was gay or not. If you feel that the only way you can get out of a situation is by taking your own life, that's sad. It's even worse, should I say, that someone feels that there isn't help there for them. There genuinely is, but people have to go after it themselves, and if a person isn't confident enough to talk up about help, or wanting help, or needing help, how can they get the help? Because nobody knows. A friend of mine, who I won't name, Hash, he kind of went off on one about this when he found out about the sentencing, and he tagged me in a picture on Facebook, saying basically, this sentence is pathetic, and it needs to be tougher. And part of me agrees in going, yeah, it's a really shit sentence considering what's happened. That's awful, but big but, and this is what I actually genuinely commented back, and I said, this guy's face has been shown, and people will know what he looks like, whether when he comes out of prison he gets like a new identity or something like that. They're not going to be able to change his face, right? That man's life, this Ravioli, he will never have the same life again. His face is known, like his image is out there, right? And as much as it pains for me to say this, he's only going to be in prison for like 30 days, right? So he's still going to be the same looking when he comes out. Like if he got sentenced to like 40 years, he's going to look kind of different when he comes out, but no, this is 30 days. He's going to look the same. People are going to remember. And there are certain people in this world who, when things like this happen, they kind of want to take the law into their own hands. And, I don't condone it. I've said in previous videos on here before that, if a person has killed another person, then the person who's the murderer, that person's death, I feel, it doesn't bring the other person back. So what's the point? I mean, let's face facts here. We've got torture. Torture is a lot worse than death, right? So, yeah, if these people are going to go after him and try and kill him, don't even waste your time. This guy could go through a whole life of hate. To a certain degree, I would agree with that. But one thing, not long after this story had come out, and I think it was either Pink Paper or Pink News, something like that. It's one of the gay newspapers. And they said it would be really, really interesting to find out in a couple of years if this Ravioli is gay himself. Is that why he put the webcam in his roommate's room? To watch this sort of thing happening? Is that what was going on? I don't know. But it genuinely would interest me to find out in a couple of years. But, yeah, so I can't decide on this one. If I'm thinking that prison, whatever prison he's gone to, if I'm thinking it's a really, really tough prison, then 30 days is laughable. It's pathetic. It's a hate crime. It's led to someone's death. So, yeah, 30 days, nothing. Pathetic. However, the prisons that I've seen, they're not actually that tough these days. In fact, some people actually have it more difficult living life out of prison than they do in prison. I mean, like, in prison, you get, what, 3 square meals a day? You don't have bills to worry about. You don't have to worry about, like, unemployment because you don't need a job, you know? Okay, you might do odd little bits around the prison and receive a little reward for that and whatever, but, you know, you don't have money worries. But, that said, 30 days in prison, yeah, fine, whatever. This guy's got the rest of his life to go, you know? People can make it as uncomfortable as they want. Within reason, of course. Law-abiding. But, yes. So, I don't know where I stand about this. I genuinely don't. And it's not like this is new news either. You know, this story came out yesterday, this sentencing. So, yeah. I guess my final message for this video would be... I know my videos aren't popular. So this message will never get through to anyone. But I'll say it just in case it does. The main message I want people to take from this whole story and from this video alone is that, you know, if you have a problem or a number of problems and you feel that taking your own life is the only way out of them problems, it's really not. It's really, really not. And, you know, if you have a look at some of the It Gets Better videos, I mean, that refers obviously to mainly the gay community. But, you know, like, I mean, President Obama did one. And, you know, in his video, he said, you know, I can't really comment about, you know, coming out and saying it gets better, but, you know, I was bullied in school for being black, you know? So it doesn't matter what your situation is, you know, the fact is, it can get better, but you have to work at it. And yes, the work might suck, and there may be many more times in the future where you're going, oh my god, it'd be so much easier to kill myself. But genuinely, it's not. Just work at your problems and, you know, fight your way through them. So, I guess that's kind of my rant about this video. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.